Some people are such clowns. So John Boxing, of course, blocks my comments on his page, yet he doesn't mind consistently always responding to my videos. Yet somehow my true statements are too much for him to comprehend because, of course, his content is all made off of lies, race baiting, and pure bullshit. So today he's got a video on his channel basically talking about the men versus gorilla story and 100 men versus gorillas. And of course, John needs to take this story and make it racial. So using somebody talking about ChatGPT, talking about how most likely the race of men that could beat the gorilla probably would be black Americans because of their stronger muscles and the fact that they have fast twitch muscles and more power, and because of this they are stronger. But is this true? So it's not hard to test this out because you can easily go to any website and type in who were the last 10 men to have won the world's strongest man event. And you'll notice that I think there's one black man. I think Brian Shaw is black. Am I wrong? Or maybe Brian Shaw is not even black. Let me see. Oh, no, he's not. So then, okay. So literally out of all the people listed as strongest men, there are no black guys. Tom Stoltman, 2024. Mitchell Hooper, 2023. Julius Borninson, 218. Brian Shaw, 216. Mikhail Kovalk, 215. Eddie Hall, 217. Sakovic, 209. Brian Shaw, 215. Vasily Vertovec, 212. Brian Shaw again. There's a long list of these guys that have been strongest men. Bill Kazmaier, Shaw, Jeff Capes, Joka Ayoya. I think usually Finland tends to do very well overall for the strongest men in the world. All of them are Caucasian. John Sigmundsson, Magnus Magnusson, look, Mariusz Pudzianowski, Bruce Willem, Eddie Hall, James Reeves, Sven Kardason. You know, like, you can go through this list and I mean there's like fucking 25 to 30 of them. I'm not going to count right now, but it's right there for you to check out. And you can see that every single one of them is a Caucasian. So I would think if I was going to have 100 men versus a gorilla, I'd pick these 30 to 50 men that are listed right here on social media. And I would think these motherfuckers would have a pretty good chance of beating that gorilla's ass. But that's just me. Feel free to leave your comment in the comment section below. I'm not trying to make this racial because when I saw that thing, I thought, men are so stupid. Like, obviously men, we're smarter than animals. That's why historically we've dominated the animals. We've dominated the planet. Not because of our strength, but because of our brains, right? And people have lived around the world, dealt with huge animals consistently. And we haven't all been eaten and killed by these large animals. We found a way to dominate them and live in their environments. So when I saw one gorilla, 100 men, I had no problem saying that 100 men would easily beat one gorilla. We have tools, we can use tools. Inevitably, strategy and tools are just going to make us too strong for a gorilla. I remember when I was a kid, and we had a good book because my grandmother and her sisters, her 6 sisters, all grew up in Alberta. And so, of course, there's lots of Aboriginal culture and lots of heritage and history. So they had books and stuff and things that they collected. And so there was one good book that was talking about, hunting a grizzly. There was also books about how to catch an eagle. And of course, as a kid, these are pretty interesting books just because the content, obviously. And one thing you could do to beat a grizzly, you get a sharp pole and you would get the grizzly to chase you, eventually jam that pole into the ground behind you and level it up so when the grizzly charged at you, it would spear itself. See, that was one man against one grizzly. I would take a grizzly to kill a fucking gorilla any day, but maybe I'm wrong. But the reality is, this was never a race thing for me. I just gave it to men as a whole, knowing that we are the dominant species on the earth. But of course, leave it to a guy like John to somehow make this all about race.